Rwandan defensive measures. Rwandan defensive measures. We're talking about by U.S. intelligence services and 4,000 to 7,000 Rwandan soldiers inside of the Congo, occupied Congolese territory, captured the city of Goma, killing at least an estimated 7,000 Congolese. Right? As a result of the occupation and the capture of Goma, we saw that there was a prison break in the midst of it, where 100 and something Congolese women were raped and burnt alive, right? So we're talking about mass crimes against humanity, right? Massive atrocities, right? Displacement of millions of Congolese.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Rwandan defensive measures. Are you serious?
Yes.
Right? In what universe does that even, though that those words even make sense? We're at the tail end, hopefully, of a 30-year war of aggression and plunder by U.S. ally Rwanda, right? That triggered the death of an estimated at least 6 million Congolese, according to the studies that are out there, right? What the United Nations says, if brought in front of a competent court in the UN Mapping Exercise Report, the Rwandan soldiers could be charged for crimes of genocide. So how do we arrive here? I guess we arrive here because it's a deal among local, regional, and global elites for their benefit, right? Tshisekedi gets to stay in power. Kagame, he gets off scot-free, no accountability, no justice. He gets to process Congo's minerals that he can sell to the European Union and elsewhere, right? And Trump and Rubio and Boulos, they get to bring their business people in, to invest.
Wow. Okay. So we jumped off of that. I guess Quito put us right in the in the middle of it. So we're here with Akilimali from Kinshasa, giving us here to give us an update on all that is unfolding, particularly around the peace agreement that was signed on June 27th, right here in Washington, D.C. And give us what they're calling the Washington Accord, and give us a sense of what folks on the ground, are saying. That in response to what folks just saw, our take here at Friends of the Congo, and on an element of the peace agreement. So Akilimali, share with us. You've been covering a wide range of folks since June 27th, and their take on this peace agreement and its implications for the Congolese people, most importantly. So let us hear what you have to say on this, and what you've heard from other people on the ground in the Congo.
Yes, people here on the ground, people are so many people were really upset. Were really upset because there were a campaign here in Congo with a politician and politician of the Tshisekedi regime, which were saying that that agreement would be someone with something which will save the Congo from the war, and which will be.
Speak up a little bit, Akilimali. You sound a little low.
Yes, let me check. Then and there, can you?
Yeah, that's better. If you get closer to the mic, I think that'll work.
Okay. So.
Oh, that's much
yes.
better.
Okay, that's great. I have said that in Congo and here in Kinshasa locally, it is reason for people because there were a campaign before the signature between the foreign minister of Rwanda and Congo that that agreement will save the country from this war, and will put out, they will sign to put out military soldiers, and they will sign to put out Rwanda military soldiers. At the beginning of this live, I watched your video saying about what's really going on, and what is a surprise that they call all of that it's a defensive measure uh, put it by Rwanda. So people were really upset. Were really upset about it. First of all, and secondly, I will make sure that I put. There are so many activists which are saying that it's only a deal to 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 make sure that they will not fight each other, that they will not fight each other and not destroy each other uh, between Kigali and Kinshasa as administration and as politician. But the situation on the ground is more worse because that agreement didn't include anything about the M23 and its withdrawal. They
Mm.
didn't put anything and they put it to another accord, which is another agreement which should be signed in Doha in Qatar. And people were really upset. I will begin by the latest, by the latest statement of the opposition, which were signed by Sitki Kuli, who is another leader, a leader of the opposition, with Moise Katumbi, and also with the coalition which called FCC as a former president who is right now in Goma. It's another question who is right now in Goma, and they say that that agreement is not include the point of view of Congolese people.
Mm.
I spoken on Thursday, I think, with an activist, Brother Pass, which say that that agreement didn't include the point of view of Congolese people, including also Congolese people. I think it should be very soon on a platform. His video, who should be his short video, should be very soon on platforms on IG and other platforms, social media platforms. For many activists, it's only the decision themselves. I asked also to some sovereignists like Portefi Hiroshima of Urgence Pan-Africaine, and for him, he said that it's only a deal to help the US to go and to put out China from the market of mineral, but it's not need anything because they they didn't put Rwanda in the possibility to withdraw itself. And they deny, is what they say. They deny the resolution of the United Nations,
Right. 20
which were
resolution
asked
2773, right?
exactly, which were asked to Rwanda to withdraw his soldiers from the Congolese territories. This is the first, and also another thing. He was surprised. He was surprised to see that it's a U.S. department which produced some report, some confirmed report, which the Department of State, which was the
Mm.
facilitator of that agreement, published a few weeks before that the Rwanda Army it's globally here in Congo, and it's helping them. Also, and you were surprised that how an institution, the same department, which is doing the facilitator, the job role of facilitator, didn't put inside why the same person, the same institution say a few months ago that it's confirmed already that the M23 is supported by weapon, by soldiers, by technology, and strategic counseling by Rwanda. This is something very, very difficult for him. Another point of view is the point of view of the Catholic Church and the Protestant Church, because
Mm.
you have to know that they meet the M23, they meet the President Tshisekedi, they meet around everybody. They meet the representative of Joseph Kabila, who is the former president. They meet Lorenzo. They meet France. They were also in the US.
Mhm.
They were in Qatar. They were in Togo. They were in Kenya, in Uganda, in Tanzania. It means they meet all actors, all
Right,
regional
right, right,
actors and
right.
local actors, because before yesterday they meet the former vice president of the National Assembly in Congo, the room of the room of the parliament. They meet them. So yesterday, Monseigneur Donatien Chole, who is the general secretary the Senko, which is the organization of Congolese priests here in DRC involved to this issue. I think that said yesterday that there is no solution which will not include the point of view of Congolese people. And also, he said that also any agreement should include what they call les pactes républicains. It means a kind of a national agreement which give to public authorities the rule, which give them the like um, the way to follow
Mhm.
in any case to protect the integrity and the unity of the Democratic Republic of the Congo as a country. And he said that yesterday that that should include, and this will not put any solution. And a last one is about Lucha, Lutte pour le Changement, which is a Congolese movement, pressure group of pressure movement, which say that there is no deal of peace without justice, because
Mm.
there is no justice because only for Goma, only for Goma in 3 days, 3,000 people died in Goma, and it more than 5,000 of people which died in Goma and in Bukavu from the invasion of in area, so under control of the M23 from the beginning of this war officially, and that number can be more difficult. And they say we have to begin by justice, and to make sure that Rwanda withdraw its troop in Congo, and make sure that the M23, all actors of the M23, which are which did killings and violate human rights or did crimes, should respond first of all uh, to the justice, and after that, any peace agreement can arrive. That is globally the global point of view here in
Yeah,
Congo.
yeah. Akilimali, that seems to be consistent with women who came to Washington in early June, Congolese women leaders, where this was before the agreement was signed, and it was after the Declaration of Principles, which were signed by both foreign ministers of Rwanda and the DRC in late April, that the women said that the matter of justice was non-existent. The inclusion of Congolese voices, not a part of the equation. So it seems now, after the June 27th signing of the peace agreement, what called the Washington Accord, or to be called the Washington Accord, you have across the
You
board
can
in
call
the
it
Congo
you can call it also the Trump Accord.
the Trump Accord. Okay, the Trump Accord, which incidentally, the president Tshisekedi said that he would vote for Donald Trump to receive the Nobel Peace Prize for this effort, which is uh, interesting to say the least. But in any case, you have folks that you've interviewed, and your survey of Congolese society across the board. They're not in alignment with what has been signed in Washington. Is that pretty much the what you can say the conclusion from what you've observed over the since the signing in June the 27th, on June 27th?
So there is not any evolution, first of all, on the ground because the
Hmm.
M23 is still controlling the area under their control. And it's also reinforcing the point of view that it's a war between Congolese themselves and Rwanda is not involved. And this is
Hmm.
very dangerous because it's Rwanda which is fuel the insecurity in that part of the country. And also, it also begin by saying other word word like hate speech because hate
Hmm.
speech it's one of the word which were so many and as a Congolese and someone involved to the ground, I don't know. First of all, how will they analyze that issue of hate speech,
F hate speech.
and how yes, and how will they really stop what they call as hate speech? Because uh, Congo, even if there is so many problems, but in Central Africa region, Congo, it's one of the country where a few, I'm saying a few, freedom, peace, sorry. Free expression is still inside, and I don't know if it would be a totalitarian what means it means someone because what they call hate speech it's when you are saying that no there is no Congolese which participated in the genocide in Rwanda, so Congolese
Hmm.
should not suffer is a victim of a genocide which Congo didn't take any part in any case because Congo were not involved in military, even with actors, even with civilian society, or in any way. Congo didn't participate in the genocide in Rwanda. So this should never been so Congo should not lost that things. And also another hate speech is that when Congolese people are saying that it's around 6 million of people which died, and that Congolese people died a lot, and they say that it's Denis, it that it's a genocide, and they say no, there is no another genocide in Central Africa region, in Africa region globally. Um, the genocide only did happened only in Rwanda, and what is going on in Congo, it's only the consequence of Congolese people, and this is
Hmm.
unbelievable. This is unbelievable because from 1998 there is UN which reported with the first one and the biggest report about violation here in Congo. It's a mapping report which showed how the Rwanda army, without saying it, the Rwanda army, the Uganda army, even in some way Burundi army, did killed people alive, killed people with machetes. What I don't know who told that to President Trump, but
So, Akilimali, let me ask you this: why do you think? What are people saying as to, you've laid out all those points that the agreement didn't speak explicitly to Resolution 2773, the UN Security Council resolution that was unanimously voted on in February of this year, February 2025. And one of the key tenets of that resolution is that Rwandan soldiers should withdraw immediately from the Congo without any preconditions and sever its ties with the M23. Ties that a recent UN group of experts report reiterated that for all intents and purposes, Rwanda is in control and command of the M23, right? But that wasn't a fundamental part of, put it this way, Resolution 2773 was not explicitly articulated in the peace agreement. And in fact, the whole question of the M23, which the UN is well documented well, that is controlled by Rwanda, is relegated to a Doha talk in Qatar, right? Even we did like just a little bit of a search in the in the agreement, right? Mind you, that since 2022, the M23 has, with Rwanda's support and control and command, has captured city after village, and have captured basically two provinces, the two largest cities in the east of Congo. But yet, when we do a search on the in the agreement, M23 comes up three times, and one of those three is in the glossary. But you search FDLR, and it comes up 43 times, right? So you'd wonder, well, why would the Congolese government sign something like this? That's something that has defensive measures in there when Rwanda is occupying large swaths of Congo. What are people saying in Kinshasa as to why the Kinshasa government, mind you, understanding it's in a weak position because the east of the country is occupied by Rwanda, and Congolese military hasn't been able to put up a fight. So, but why, when you have the whole world saying that Rwanda should get out, why would the Congolese government not sign on to that? Are people saying anything to you inside the government, or anyone has any information as to why they went ahead and signed this agreement?
First of all, I will begin by the point of view of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Therese Kaikwamba Wagner, which so many people, because when he came here, when she came here, sorry, she said she organized a press conference because it's a kind of shame and a non-understanding things for Congolese to say how this thing happened and why did you finally sign something like this? It's something which could never be signed. And he said, no, we choose diplomatically word, but we know that there is a fact that Rwanda is still in Congo, and we agreed unofficially, but a journalist asked him, why do you have an operation against the FDLR, which all actors can understand that it's not a danger, any danger to it don't represent any danger because it's less than 100 people which fight in Rwanda with those Interahamwe we changed to FDLR right now, and it's 30 years. It's 30
Mm.
years right now. It's more than 30 years.
More than 30 years,
So
yeah.
it's yes. So those people, those FDRs, they are saying are right now very old and can't really fight. So she said that this point were also included, and I can't speak about it because we have to focus on something we get. And what she said, something we get, she said that we get something good. It's that in that agreement they sign that the integrity territory of the Democratic Republic of the Congo
Mm.
should be respected. And another one asked him, so do you think that the Congolese the integrity of the Congolese territory it's respected? She said, no, not yet, but it should. Why it's not saying it in that there is that there will be an operation against also the M23, for example. And she say, no, we have another process which is towards. This is very complex, but I will put also the point of view of some researcher here, including at the University of Kinshasa, which
Hmm.
are saying that for some actors in Kinshasa, the important thing it was to make sure that Rwanda will not foil the M23 to attempt Kinshasa and to put out the Tshisekedi regime. And for them, it's the only target they really had in their mind to protect the regime, not really to protect
The
to
people.
protect population. Yes, to
Hmm.
protect people. And the last thing I get from other actors, they are saying that also that in ways they didn't really have the choice because they told them they have to sign it or fight to 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 to,
So
to retake those territory. And
who told? So that's what the U.S. told Kinshasa, that you either sign or fight.
yes, you should sign or fight. And Kinshasa right now is not in military capacity to fight and to retake all those territory. I can say it's more than two times the actual territory of Rwanda. So it means it's very difficult. It means also they sign it as a state which fail a war. It means a state which fail a war also.
Right.
Um,
It's a losers agreement,
yes,
in the sense
exactly.
that
It's a
you
losers.
lost the
Yes,
war, and then
yes, exactly.
you have to swallow the bitter pill of losing the war.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
That is the 3 point I got from some sources here in Kinshasa. But also there are so many point of view. Some people which I think that it's a kind of destruction, destruction of the Congolese army, including to reintegrate some M23
Hmm.
soldiers, because that of course say that, that agreement say that they will integrate some soldiers of the M23 and an MP, an MP asked how and why and when will they decide which one will integrate and which one will not integrate. And there is a law which were adopted by the MP to protect the Congolese army, to say that there is no any new group army which should be integrated in the Congolese army, and to the integration of the Congolese army will be by the beginning. It means it will be someone who is interested by integrate Congolese army, and who will be a civilian, or probably a former military or whatever, who will be trained by the Congolese army and will begin to the low level, and will grow up, will grow up his level in a small commander to a major, general, and whatever. This is one of the complicated thing, and a kind of shame here in.
Akilimali, as you talk about that, I had a couple questions. It's kind of interesting. The agreement says that the Congolese military should join with the Rwandan military to go after the FDLR, right?
Mhm.
But the M23 has captured the territory where the FDLR are. So, and the Congolese military can't go into that territory. And if the central question for Rwanda is these quote unquote defensive measures, seeing that Rwanda and M23 has already captured territory with the FDLR, why don't they just go after the FDLR themselves? It seemed like I read the report from the United Nations, the one that just came out, and they said the priority for the M23 and the Rwandan military are the mines and more territory, right? In fact, the FDLR that they're capturing, and some of those that they captured apparently that go into Rwanda, they're sending them back into the Congo to fight with the M23. So, I mean, it seems like it's really, really, really hard to see, even though the Congolese government is in a weakened position, how this is going to lead to anything sustainable, for the people. And if the people are not secure, then I don't see how, Tshisekedi and the political class believe that signing such an agreement is going to, in the long run, work out to their best interests as a political class. And you mentioned some MPs. Do members of parliament have a say in what kind of agreements that the president signs or the government signs?
Mhm.
Is there any discussion in the parliament, about the position of the parliament? Is the parliament in support of what's been signed? Does the parliament have any kind of a say whatsoever?
No, there is no until now any discussion in, because also it were signed when the parliament right now is not working. They are right now in vacancies from the middle of July, of June.
Oh, so
Sorry.
the country is occupied and the parliament's on vacation.
Yes, yes, they are right now in vacation, and so and so. They will be back in September, in
Oh, they'll be
September.
back
So
in September. I see. Okay.
exactly, and
What about
we'll
what
see
about
what.
those members of parliament that are from North Kivu and South Kivu? Where are they? Where do they go?
I really don't know. I really don't know, but it seems like some of them went there to US. Probably you can meet them
Oh, they went to
in
the
the
U.
streets of
Oh, okay. So
Washington,
they may be in
and
Washington.
others. Yes, exactly. Exactly. But to return to this question of FDLR and the operation between the Congolese army and we have so many contradictions about it,
Mm.
because we have the first one is a point of view of those two states, because in Congo the Congolese government is saying that as the first operation will be the withdrawing of the Rwanda troops,
Hmm.
and the withdrawing of the M23 after they will organize operation against the FDLR. And also Rwanda, who is the President Kagame say that with also the Foreign Minister Affairs, which said that Rwanda will withdraw its defensive measure by finishing the operation against the FDLR. And this is very, very complicated. Let me give a kind of general point of view about this issue of the FDLR for some of our listeners and people who are watching, but they don't know what is really going on. All actors, all researchers, all I'm saying all is even in with Rwanda, with Rwanda researchers, Rwanda paid researchers, they already accord that uh, the FDLR, sorry, it's a diet movement. It's a diet movement because there are so many operations which Rwanda organized in Congolese territory, which destroyed it. The first operation is in 1996 with AFDEL,
Mhm.
and they killed thousands and thousands of um, Interahamwe, FDLR, and also so many Hutu people, including Congolese Hutu. First of
Mhm.
all, and the second operation were in 1998 with the RCD, which they call it Rassemblement Congolais pour la Démocratie, and they also fight, and they explained it that it was a matter of security to Rwanda
Mhm.
until 26 until 2006, after the country to be reunite and to organize election and the Congolese army to be reorganized. And after that, on after the election, Rwanda also creates a CNDP, which also its mission were to fight against the FDLR and to make sure
Mhm.
that FDLR it will not be a danger for Rwanda for the regime of Paul Kagame in Rwanda, and they also fight after and they signed finally on 2009 uh, on 23rd March in Goma, an agreement. And a few years, it means at the end of 2011,
Mhm.
also the M20, it was the M23 which were created. It's the M23 which were created, and this is one the biggest. And also they say that they fight against the M23. So every actor right now are saying that the M20, CFDR is not in capacity even to take one town of Rwanda, and this is why the word hate speech is now on every month on every speech of the Rwanda propaganda right now. The hate speech. It means right now they know because they can't say that the M23 is something which is very dangerous. That ZFDLR is something very dangerous to run us right now. They're saying that no, ZFDLR, we should fight against him because against them because they are they are organizing propaganda. It's that they are
Mhm.
saying they are organized propaganda against Rwanda and against the Tutsi people and Banyamulenge. So I mean that should be reorganized and and they should fight against them because they have to it there is a word they're saying never again,
Mm.
never again, because never again the genocide should not happen. It means they are saying they are protecting for not a decade, but for probably 100 years. The FDLR, because the fact is that those Interahamwe, which is the FDLR, are less than 1,000 people, and all of them are very old and can't really fight. And there are people which are saying that finally that they are no, they are right now in Congo. They are right now in Congo, and they have some children, and they have some some children, and those children has that genocide idea. Yes, is that
Ideology. So
ideology?
Akilimali, this is really fascinating because it's not really. It's like Kagame is weaponizing genocide in a sense, not fundamentally different from what we see in Israel, where the Palestinian people are paying the price for a genocide that they didn't have anything to do with, right? Uh, where their land has been occupied and they've been driven into out as refugees, and we see a strikingly similar undertaking, where the Congolese people didn't have anything to do with the genocide in Rwanda, but Rwanda is weaponizing the genocide itself and the FDLR to commit these heinous crimes. Like we just did. If you look right at the argument, you went down the list from 1996 to the present, right? So if you really look at it, Kagame and Rwanda has been using this argument about its security to have its way in the Congo. And conservatively, we talk about estimated 6 million people, right, who've been killed as a result of Rwanda's and Uganda's invasion of the DRC, right? And then you have about 7 million Congolese who are currently internally displaced, right? So that's 13 million either killed or displaced, all because of this security argument. That's almost equivalent to the population of Rwanda itself. So they're saying that this is the price that Congolese people should pay for this weaponizing of genocide that Kagame is carrying out. And if you can correct me, the number one victims today of the FDLR are not the Rwandans, but the Congolese people themselves, because the FDLR attacked local population in the Congo too, right?
Exactly. The Congolese people is one which really suffered of the M23 because they are in the forest, and they are organized some ambush against civilian people and against other enemy group which are not defending their interests. But right now, all the areas which they say that the M23 is inside, including the Virunga National Park, which is the area where the FDLR has to be, right now are under control of Rwanda and of the M23, and they always organize operation in that area. So I really don't know where the Rwanda and Congolese army we're going to look for the M23, and also the important thing is how should they difference create a difference, as I say that it's some people which were born here in DRC between 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 Congolese local movement, Congolese local group army, which are Congolese, and some of them are Wazalendo, and of the Hutu ethnic groups. This will be one of the biggest challenges, and which are showing that that agreement, it's only something which will not really have any kind of result here on the ground, because there is no fact. It were not based on fact and
Mhm.
on details from the ground, from the ground, and coming from a country which
Seems like you froze.
so
Okay.
many information about what is going on here in,
Hmm.
yes, in DRC. It seems like this agreement, it will create another problem, and other so many others problems which will not have
So
any kind
you think the
of
agreement
solution.
will compound the problems and make things more complicated
Exactly,
and speaking on the
there
ground,
will be
Akili
more.
Mali, there's fighting happening right now, right, in South Kivu and heavy fighting in and around Uvira. Can you share,
Exactly.
what's going on there, what you've learned?
Exactly. The latest report of civilian society actors, first of all, say that the Rwanda is reinforcing the South Kivu province, and in Walikale territory, and they are planning to fight again, and to take the area of this night. There is some fight in uh, Mwenga territory right now, right today, in
Hmm.
Mwenga territory, against between the M23 and some Mozalendo, because the M23 is trying to occupy other villages. Other villages. Last week, the M23 took three other villages in Walikale territory in North Kivu. So the fight is still continue on the ground, and in US, President Trump and his administration, they are present the agreement is a solution, and in the Congo and in the Rwanda, because you hear the last speech of the President Kagame, who said that if the Rwanda is not getting his purpose, it's always keep doing what they are doing. It means they will keep occupying the Congolese territory, and put thousands of people. And another is the number is more than 6 million. It's around 50% of all the all Rwanda population,
Hmm.
of the all Rwanda population. It's it's this it's that number of people which were killed here in Democratic Republic of the Congo, and this is very complicated. This is something we really don't know how this war will end up, because it seems like Rwanda is creating always it's creating always uh, the fight and new excuse to take control of the Congolese minerals. This is the first,
Right.
and the Congolese land, and also the last report of the United Nations United Nations experts said that Rwanda is in need of land, and they want to take that part of the Congolese territory, and to create a new country, or to put it to the Rwanda territory, which something which will not be possible. I'm saying which will not be possible, because people on the ground, people there are really fighting, because um, the world is not really speaking, and the Congolese army, even other agreements are not really speaking about how those Wazalendo helped for like 30 years right now without
Mhm.
a strict every 10 years the Congolese army is destroyed by integration of rebellion and some war crime leaders to which are integrated in the Congolese army, and with that army, some local group which are Wazalendo had tried as much as they could, and until now, Rwanda didn't win to
So
occupy definitively. Yes.
you're saying Kilimali, basically the Wazalendo, patriots in Swahili, right?
Mm.
Are
Yes, exactly.
they're like former Mai Mai, right? They're
Yes,
fighting for their land, so they're not going to give up that fight, irrespective of whatever agreements are signed. They're going to continue to resist to protect their land. Is, I hear that's what I hear you saying.
exactly. They will keep protecting the land, and this, from my view, it's unbelievable. It means save like to occupy that territory for 30 years minimum to occupy to end with Wazalendo, because Wazalendo is people. So many people really don't know about how Wazalendo are really created. It it's about when someone a young guy saw his mother being raped by by because there are so many rapes which were organized by them. It's someone who were born in an area, and the war organized by Rwanda to take that territory put him to be in miles and miles from his villages, and finally it's the latest fight. It means he has because in Congo so many people are Christian. He pray. Hey God, help me, because we are suffering, and after praying, he lost another member of his family, and it means uh, it it's so many of them are civilians, but they lost so many things: land, family members.
Mm.
Uh, they lost everything, and for him, the latest action for him, it would be to fight against against
Occupiers.
um, occupiers, and this will not really happen. This will not really happen because to take control of that area will create, uh, for me, will create a kind of a genocide, because a genocide, because people will not accept to be occupied. People will not accept to be occupied, and the army of Rwanda should finally be obliged to kill everybody, to make sure
Mm.
that they control that part of the territory. And this is something difficult or somehow impossible to kill everybody. And uh, it will be very, very difficult. And as much as there are people who are losing their land, who are losing their family's member, who are seeing their sister, their mother raped, who are seeing crime, because only born in an area where there are minerals around occupying a Congolese territory, it's reinforcing the point of view that we should fight. we should fight because we will not expect anything from the Congolese army. We will not expect anything from
Mm.
the international community. We should fight for us, for ourselves, because there is no one who will fight for us. And
Mm.
this is something inside, and it's very sad. It's very sad for an agreement to don't put some important details like this.
Yeah, no, speaking of the agreement though, where you talked about going after the mines, there's a section in the agreement called, regional economic framework, where Rwanda's illegal extraction of Congo's minerals will now be made legal. So it's like you're right that the agreement is, set up such as there are winners and losers. And because Rwanda has created facts on the ground by occupying the mines and occupying Congo's territory, they now get to benefit from that occupation, and it's becomes legalized. In where, according to the agreement, should it be fulfilled, the minerals will go from Congo to Rwanda to be processed and refined in Rwanda. So it's like everywhere you turn in this agreement is just bad news. Uh, it's really bad news. So we're running down on time, Akilimali. This is kind of an aside, but not really. People had mobilized around the world to put pressure on these sports teams that were in partnership with the Rwandan government. In Europe, Paris Saint-Germain and a number of other, Arsenal football team and others, they had entered into an agreement with Rwanda. We called it sports washing. That is, Rwanda was committing crimes in the Congo, committing crimes in Rwanda itself, and to present itself as a good world citizen, it enters into agreements with NB, National Basketball Association, and sports teams. So pressure was being put on Rwanda, but then we just saw recently that the Congolese government itself saying, okay, we're gonna enter into agreements with the sports teams, right? And
Yes.
in Europe, where they're gonna spend millions, tens of millions of dollars to have Congo put on the jersey of these sports teams in Europe. Uh, what are the Congolese people making of this? It's like here it is that you have 25. They say in the Congo, at least the UN says there are 25 million people in the Congo who are in need of emergency support. But yet the Congolese government is spending $25 million for marketing with the sports team. Kagame and the folks in Rwanda must be just rolling on the ground to see this. Where does that come from? What are the people in Kinshasa saying? Like, who came up with this idea that think this was a good idea? Especially taking into consideration what's going on in the Congo today. Have
So
you seen anything on that? Are people talking about that at all?
so this is the latest news here in DRC. But I will I will tell you what someone wrote on Twitter, and I read it like a few minutes before this live. He said this, and it's a fact. The Congolese national championship football right now is suspended because of need of money. They call it in a Ligue Nationale de Football. It means it's a kind of the national championship of clubs, and also another the second fact about sport. First of all, because if we go to the emergency, it will be difficult. It will be difficult to say it. Another thing is that the Congolese female national team, which right
Mm.
now is playing the African Confederation, the African Confederation Cup, which is the championship between nation, um, female national team here in Africa,
Mm-hmm.
uh, didn't didn't organize some activities because they were in need of money.
Mm.
And the last fact, this it's something which is happening right now. And the last fact is that the only stadium, football stadium, because we are speaking about football,
Mm-hmm.
soccer, because football in US it's something else. Um, uh, the only stadium which is in international standard, it's a private stadium of Tepe Mazembe, of Moise Katumbi. And
Mm-hmm.
the national stadiums, it means the stadium which is in the capital city, which called Stade des Martyrs, and
Mm-hmm.
right now is not homologated by the FIFA, the International Federation of Football,
Football.
because of standard, because the toilets are not good, because there is some equipment which are not in standard, in international standard, to receive some match, and uh, for Congolese people to see all those million to
Mm-hmm.
be sent outside and per
Mm-hmm.
year, it mean they will spend until what they signed today. They will spend around 25 million every year. 25
Mm.
million every year. It's a kind of shame, and people really don't understand. Really don't understand. And I think this is one of the first thing the parliament will do when they will come back in September for sure, because in Congo, it's people are really saying, how can you spend that money? How can you spend that money in time of creating opportunity for youth, in time of creating opportunity for young people? This is a shame, and this is something which will not, and which will never, and which will should not be accepted in a situation like this. And the fight also against the Ministry of Tourism and the Ministry of Sport, because
Mm-hmm.
all of them know that it's an issue of million right now, and everyone is signing, because the idea it went from the tourism ministry to say that people should come in Congo to visit Congo to visit. I don't know, it's not a good idea, first of all, first of all. But the sport ministry say that also we should use it to to promote to promote Congolese talent. To promote Congolese talent. And how can you promote Congolese talent as soon as your national championship is not working? As soon as you have any public, any government which has the authorization to have an international match. Uh, it's it's something unbelievable here in Congo, and
Yeah. Yeah. Just looking at it from
all
the
of
outside, it
the
just seems like utter insanity. Like, So, any case, well, Akilimali, just thank you for giving us a sense of how people are responding to the peace agreement, what is to be called the Washington Accord, and we're going to stay in communication with you. For folks, I don't know if Kito can put the blog. Akilimali provides regular updates at friendsofthecongo.org/blog. He and a collection of journalists consistently putting out content from the ground to the English-speaking audience about what's happening across the country, and certainly with the conflict and Rwanda's war of aggression against the Congolese people. and then of course the leadership in Kinshasa. We didn't even talk about the suit that's being brought against President Tshisekedi and his family coming out of uh, Katanga. But we'll get to that next time. We'll as we follow up, there'll be more on that. There's just so much to discuss. But thank you, Akilimali. I don't know if there's any last words you wanted to share with folks as we sign off.
Yes, the only thing I can say is to stand with Congolese people, true Congolese people. It means some movements, some actors which are really doing a great work to help people in need, to to try to inform, because there is a lot of propaganda by Rwanda, by the Congolese elite also itself, to people which are trying to educate people and to try is to support the Africa, the Africa in this fight, and it to support the fight against injustice, against rape, and against other killings. Keep informing themselves about what is going on, and see any kind of action which should be done by themselves. There is no small action. There is no small action. The smaller you think is you are so many, the bigger the result will be. Is that I can say to the audience this afternoon.
Beautiful. Thank you, Akilimali. All right, we'll
Thank you so much.
catch up to you again, hopefully next week, but definitely soon. And really appreciate
Yes.
you coming on and give us an update today.
Thank you so much.
All right, be well.
Thank you.
Peace.
Peace, peace.